Okay, once again you're welcome to PJ Collection Clothings, and on this video I'll be showing us how to make a placket with a background color and also piping of neckline with a background color, which is showing on the picture I'll be sending right now. Alright, so we'll be making a placket with a background color and also piping of neckline with a background color. Alright, so these are the two fabrics I'll be using. There are two kinds of placket. You have the double placket and that of the single placket. We have that of the double placket and also the single placket, and there are different ways in which you make placket for your senator top. Now I'll be using this pattern. I have different pattern of doing this, so I'll be working with this. So this is the main fabric I'll be working with, and remember I'm working with the two color. This will be at the I'm starting with the placket. This is the main fabric, while this will be at the background of the placket. So the very first thing you need to get is your collar gum stay. I'm using a collar gum stay. The width of the gum stay I'm using here is 1 inch, while the length I'm using here is the length is 16 inch. So like I said, I'm using these two fabric. This is the main fabric and this will be at the background. Alright, so the first thing you do, this is the shiny side, so you place the shiny side on the fabric as shown, then you gum. Okay, after gumming, the next thing you get your hemi gum. Like I said, there are different patterns of doing this placket. You get your hemi gum. This is my hemi gum I'll be working with. You now place it at the middle as shown. Then you now fold this in and you iron. Remember the hemi gum is at the center. Okay. Alright. Iron this other part down. Okay. Alright, so this is the main fabric I'll be working with. Now the background color, I'll use this for the background, so you watch carefully. Okay. Alright, so you place this as shown, then you get your hemi gum and you put your hemi gum at the down. Put your hemi gum at the down, then you press it down. Okay, after pressing it down, you now take, remember it's the background, we said the background placket. As you can see, the black will be showing at the background. So depending on how wide you want it to be. Okay, that is width. That is how wide I want that background. So you see. Alright. Then you turn it to the back. You also need to fix in your hemi gum so it will relax properly. Cut off the excess. Then you get your hemi gum. I love working with hemi gum so it will gum properly and neat. So you place it at the down so it will relax very well. Alright, so as you can see the background there showing at the background. So the next thing you do, remember this other one, the folding, I remove the excess, but in this other part you won't remove the excess because that's the excess is what you use to sew. Take note, you use the excess to sew. So you see, iron it down, iron it down, right? Okay, cut off here. Now, as you can see, this is the excess. In the other case, I removed from this point, but in this other part, which is the excess, look at the point I'm cutting off from, because I need. Alright, so this is how. Okay, remember, I'm using this placket to fix into a senator top that I'll pipe the neck. And also the piping of the neck will also be a background color, just as this. Okay. Alright, so I'm almost through with this part, so I'm removing this further down, which I'll fold. Okay. Depending on how you want this edge to be. If you want it to be as this, you leave it this way. But if you want to keep it in a pointed arrow format, you leave it this way as shown. So, okay, so let's leave mine. I'm leaving mine this way. So this is how to make a background placket. All right, so we'll keep this aside. Remember, we said we have a single placket and a double placket. So I'm making the second part, which is the smaller one. I'm making the double plackets. Reason for this is just ½ inch or 3/4 inch. If you go with 3/4 inch, is perfect. Then the length can be up to 10 to 11 inch. Take notes. Okay, you fold this in as shown. In this case, you don't need your hemi gum. Then you fold again as shown. Then you iron it down. Then you cut off the excess from this point as shown. Okay, so we'll be using this to fix to our senator top. So this goes to the right and this goes to the left. So this is how you make your double placket with a background color. Alright, so we'll keep this aside. The next thing we need to do. Alright, so I'm through with the placket. Now this is for the piping of neck, the bias that we use. In my previous video, I've showed us how to cut our bias. So I'll just go straight to the point. Remember, we said we want to make. Alright, if you watch my previous video, I've showed us how to cut our bias for piping of neck. So I'll just go straight to the point. Alright, so if you watch my previous video, so after cutting the bias, you put your hemi gum at the center, then you fold as shown. Fold as shown. Remember, we want to make a bias with a background color, just like the plackets. Fold as shown, iron it down. Alright, so this is the bias that we use for the placket. Now, this is the background. This will be at the background of the bias. So the next thing I'll do, I'll fold this. You cut this maybe ½ inch or 1/4 inch. Then you fold as shown. Fold as shown. Folding. Now go to your sewing machine. You go to your, there are various patterns of doing this, but I think this will be very easy. So you go to your sewing machine, you place this first, then you now place this, making sure that the background, that the black is showing, as you can see. Making sure, so you sew this down, down, down to the end. So let's do that. Alright, so as you can see, I've done the sewing. You can see the background color on the main fabric. So when you're through with that point, the next thing you need to do, you fold this edge, get a little hemi gum. At this point, you fold this edge as shown, and you press it down. When you're through with this, now watch carefully. You now fold into two parts, but while folding it into two parts, make sure that the down part is wider than the up. Take note, the down part is wider than the up. Both should not be equal. Reason being that while you're sewing, you'll be sewing at the up. So while you're sewing at the up, automatically it will climb at the down part. Take note. Fold this down, down. Your background bias for piping and also your background placket. So the next video I'll be showing us how to fix this to our senator top. Once again, you're watching PJ Collection Clothing. Okay, once again, you're welcome to PJ Collection Clothing, and on this video I'll be showing us how to fix the placket and also the bias that we've done. Alright, so when you're through cutting your front and back panel, this is the front panel, and in this case there is no front yoke. So this is the back part, this is the front, and this is the back, the wrong side. So when you're through, you get your cloth gum stay and you gum as shown. You gum as shown. Then when you're through, you always make sure that there is a middle. Look at the middle of this stop here. Alright, so you want to fix these two stuff here. Alright, so the very first thing you need to do when you're through gumming and you make sure you have the middle there, you get your scissors and you cut. Remember, it's the front panel alone. The depth should be up to 7 inch or 8 inch. Come this way. Okay, alright, make sure you cut it this way. Okay, now you go to your sewing machine. We'll start with the smaller one. Remember, we have two. We have the smaller one and the bigger one. Now, when you're through cutting as shown, you go to your sewing machine. Remember, if you take a look at these two stuff being cut, one is bigger than one. This is a smaller one, and this, look at, this is small. This is smaller part, and this is the wider part. So you pick up the side that is wider, the wider part. From the back, take note, from the back as shown. You now go to your sewing machine, now top stitch from here. You sew, making sure that both edges are equal down to the ending. Then when you're through, you now turn this to the front. Okay, let's go to the sewing machine. Okay, you're trying to fix the smaller part. So you're sewing just as shown. You stop at where the notch is. Then you take it to the front as shown. Then you top stitch. Remember, the top stitch to close it is open. So you're top stitching at this point here. Okay, so let's do that now. You stop at where the notch is. So that is how you fix the smaller placket. So alright, so now let's fix the bigger placket with the background color. Alright, so you take it to the back. This is the wrong side where the cloth gum stays, and you open it. You open this, look at, you open it, and you place it as shown, making sure that the edge of this is also in line with your top. Then you sew at the tip as shown. Okay, when you're through, you take this to the front. Take it to the front as shown. Now, before, watch carefully. You start from here first. Top stitch from here first, where the notch is. You top stitch from here first as shown. Okay, when you get to the down where the neck is turned this way, you're just trying to fix the plackets. Okay, when you get to this point, always make sure that this pointed edge, this edge of the placket is in line with the middle of your top, so to be straight. Remember, we said the depth of your opening should be 8 to 9 inch. So you stop at that point. Alright, so this is how to fix. Okay, as you can see, I'm through fixing my plackets. I'm through with this placket fixing. So I now want to join the front and the back. In my previous video, I've showed us how to do the joining, but a recap. So this is the back, this is the wrong side, this is the good side. Alright, so you now pick up this, and you also pick up your yoke. You now pick up, you want to join the front and the back. So remember, this is the wrong side, and this is the designer's yoke I used for the inside of the wrong side. Now, if this is the front, to join it, pick your yoke. Take note, this is the good side of your yoke. This is the back yoke. So you place, this is the back panel, front panel, and the yoke of the back. You join the two, and you sew ½ inch to the ending. Sew ½ inch to the end. Remember, while we were cutting the top, we said that you fold after taking it back, after taking the front down 4 inch or 3.5 inch. You now fold the back on top of the front with ½ inch, and that is the ½ inch you'll be sewing out from here. So you sew ½ inch out, then you come over this way to do the same thing. So when you're through, so let's do that now. Okay, so I'm through joining the front and the back. So this is the neck, the neck circumference. The neck circumference is 15. So you make sure that this neck circumference is up to 50. So at this point, I want to pipe the neck. So we'll now go to our sewing machine. So the thing you now do is, when you're through with this, you just pick up this, starting from where the bigger placket is, and place it as shown. Then you now top stitch on top of the first sewing there, top stitch it, and you sew it round. So let's do that now. Okay, so as you can see, so you open it, just open the center, right, sew this round. So when you get to this ending part, remember there is an excess, the excess. So you fold the excess in as shown. You fold it in, just where we folded it at the starting point. You fold the excess. Okay, so you top stitch again. You do top stitching again as shown. Okay, we're through with the piping. So when you're through, you press it down with your iron. Okay. Try to press it down so it will relax properly very well. Okay. Press both sides very well. So at this stage, as you can see, we're through. So this is how to make a pipe neck with the background. As you can see, the background color showing down to the flap. So this is how to make. Once again, you're watching PJ Collection Clothing.